My husband Brandon and I have been married for 30 years. We have 2 children, and our marriage is very strong. We spend every family holiday in a rather sentimental way, enjoying the little traditions we have created over the years. We have a very good relationship with each other's relatives, and we often spend time together with them, whether it's a BBQ game night or just a casual dinner. You could say we have a very large and friendly family, and our get-togethers are always filled with laughter and warmth. Today, my mother-in-law was celebrating her birthday. I called her, wished her a happy birthday, and asked her how she would like to celebrate it. She replied that she would like to see as many family and friends as possible. Brandon and I discussed how and where we would celebrate, wanting it to be special for her. We decided to book a VIP table at one of our favorite restaurants. Although it was expensive, but like I said, we are pretty sentimental and love to create unforgettable moments, so we don't spare any money for such events. We invited almost all of our family and family friends to the party and set the time for 5:00 p.m. I wanted everything to be perfect, from the decorations to the food, so I spent the entire afternoon finalizing details to make sure everything went smoothly. As the time started to get closer to the appointed hour, we started getting ready. I put on my white dress, my favorite for special occasions, and started putting on my makeup. Brandon's parents came to pick us up. We got in the car and said hello. I hugged my mother-in-law and congratulated her again, and she smiled warmly, clearly excited for the evening ahead. My father-in-law, Matthew, complimented me on the way I looked, and I returned the compliment. I wasn't just being polite. Matthew, despite his 50-plus years, was still quite slim and trim for his age. He was dressed in a luxurious classic suit, smoothly shaved, and his gray but thick hair was perfectly styled. He looked very dignified and confident, which made him stand out from the crowd. During the ride, I couldn't help but stare at Matthew, but no one noticed. His charisma and demeanor always intrigued me, and more than once I caught myself sneaking glances at him. We arrived at the restaurant and began to celebrate. Many guests had arrived, and the chefs had set a large table for us, just as we had ordered. The atmosphere was joyful, with music playing softly in the background and conversations of friends and family filling the room. Our feast felt more like a wedding, with beautifully arranged food and a festive mood. The only ones who looked like the bride and groom were me and my father-in-law because of our outfits. I told Matthew about it, and he laughed, saying that he would love to marry such a beautiful woman. His words caught me off guard, but they made me smile. I said that I was very happy to hear that, but as a married man, he shouldn't say that, especially when it was his wife's birthday. He shrugged playfully, and we both laughed. There was a smoking room in the restaurant, but I always preferred to go outside to get some fresh air, so I went out alone. The evening air was cool, and I was happy to take my mind off the noise inside for a while. Suddenly, Matthew came up to me and told me that he really liked me. He told me that he and his wife had a long but strained relationship with no real love. They had been contemplating divorce for a long time, no matter how strong his parents' marriage seemed to Brandon and me. It was just an excuse not to disappoint Brandon. He gently took me by the shoulders and told me he was charmed by me and proud of his son's taste. I didn't know what to say back to him because I liked him too, even more than my husband. Matthew was much more masculine, well-groomed, and intelligent than Brandon, and there was something about his confidence that drew me in. He stared at me intently and I could feel the tension building between us. He asked me to keep it between us and told me it was just for tonight. We secluded ourselves, and you can already understand what happened next. The moment seemed surreal, as if from a movie, and we both gave in to the attraction we felt. It was exciting and unexpected, and in that brief moment, everything else didn't matter. After that, we calmed down and went back to the others at the table. We acted as if nothing had happened, rejoining the laughter and conversation around us. The rest of the evening passed quietly, with toasts and wishes for my mother-in-law, who had no clue about anything. As the evening came to a close, we all said our goodbyes, and Brandon and I headed home, tired but content after a long day. The memories of what happened with Matthew lingered in my mind for a long time, like a secret shared between just the two of us. Did you enjoy this story? Give me a like and subscribe to not miss new stories.